Hello everyone and welcome. I'm your host, Joe Brichetto, inviting you to join us for the next half hour as we present In Touch with the Dutch. On today's program, we'll meet the Vice Consul of the Netherlands, we'll meet the President of the Dutch-Canadian Society of London, we'll also meet one of the originators of the Dutch-Canadian Society, and we'll also have a look at the celebrations of the Dutch-Canadian Society's 20th anniversary. I'd like to introduce to you at this time the Vice Consul of the Netherlands, Dr. Hans Hyneman. Dr. Hyneman, welcome to our program.
Thank you.
I wonder if you could just tell us, actually, what is a Vice Consul?
A Vice Consul. A Vice Consul is basically a representative of another country in a foreign country. So in this particular situation, I am representing the Netherlands, the government of the Netherlands, in an area of southwestern Ontario that basically contains the 5 counties of Middlesex, Oxford, Perth, Huron, and Elgin. And we are kind of, we belong to the, we are responsible to the Consulate General in Toronto, and of course the Consulate General in Toronto is again under the auspices and the responsibility of the Royal Embassy of the Netherlands in Ottawa.
Right, so you then are actually the representative in Canada for the Dutch government.
In southwestern Ontario, yeah, in those 4 counties or 5 counties that I mentioned to you.
Right. Approximately, not to put you on the spot, I know this is maybe a tough question, but how many people would that involve approximately?
Well, London is approximately 260,000, and I think if you take the 5 counties, you're probably talking about an area of containing about 325,000 people. Now, in this area, there are approximately 1,000 Dutch citizens. What I mean by that is people that live here that have a Dutch citizenship, have Dutch passports. And of course, one of our activities is to maintain a so-called civil registry. As you know, in Holland, if you are living in a certain community, you are to register yourself in that community, and when you move to a different community, you have to register out and register into your new community. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to keep up a list of people that have maintained their Dutch citizenship and that are living in this particular area. So our responsibility is primarily towards these people and to help them when there are problems or when there are certain, as a liaison between them and their government.
Right. Now, the next question that comes to my mind that I've heard other people talk about, all of a sudden they realize their passport has run out and there's an emergency at home. All of a sudden they realize they need a passport.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things we can do, of course. We don't like this to happen. I mean, we like to do this in a more organized fashion, and we like people to come to us and say, well, look, our passport has expired, would you extend it for us? And then we do this via Toronto, because in Toronto they have a central registry and they can actually find out whether a person has become Canadian or not, in which case he may not get a Dutch passport, of course. But in those circumstances where there are emergencies, when people have to go to Holland or somewhere else in a hurry, then we can give them an emergency extension for about 3 months, and we make them go on the way. We help them on the way, so to say.
That's a helpful answer then. And what about other cultural activities?
Well, there are of course other things as well, and of course the Vice Consul also plays the role of what we have here as a kind of a notary public. He will sign certain forms, and he will also authorize signatures, and he will translate certain official forms as well. He also will help Dutch travelers, for example. That happens sometimes. People that are visiting relatives from Holland that are visiting the relatives here may get into troubles, for example, that they run out of money, or they're kicked out of the house, or they die, whatever. In this type of situation we get sometimes involved with. Now, with regard to the cultural activities, I am representing the Dutch government in Canada in this particular area, and I'm getting asked to sometimes help out on certain cultural activities, and I guess it should be done more often, but you know, in a time of fiscal constraint, you know, money is hard to come by, and therefore the resources are very limited. But I do have also a representative function in that, you know, I will be asked sometimes to lay a wreath somewhere, or to unveil a little statue, or to give a speech for members of the Legion, or this this type of thing. That happens fairly commonly.
Right. Well, maybe the next question I'd like to ask you, maybe you can answer it more for the sake of our public out there. If some Dutchman wanted to get a hold of you, whereabouts could he get a hold of you if he did not know where you were located?
Well, we are in the Yellow Pages on the foreign governments.
You are in the Yellow Pages?
Yeah, in the Yellow Pages, and the office is 100 Waterloo, which is in the corner of Waterloo and South Street, just across the old building, Red Cross building, across from Victoria Hospital. And, you know, the telephone number is in the phone book. The telephone number is 432-9973, and there is a 24-hour answering service.
Good.
So there is 24-hour service. I do not mean to say that people can call me at 1 o'clock in the morning to say that their passports have expired. And to be honest with you, that happens, particularly in the summertime with farmers, because they work in the country on the land all day, and then at 11 o'clock they come home, they have a shower, and at 11:30 they realize they might as well phone the fire consul to tell them the passport has expired. So I really don't want to promote this type of thing.
Well, Dr. Hyneman, thank you very much for taking time out of your schedule as a physician. I'm sure you're very busy. I wonder how you even find time to be a vice consul.
Well, I mainly do the promotional part of it. You know, my secretary is doing the direct dealing with the people as they come in the office, and my wife is doing the administration, so I really don't have an awful lot to do myself, and it was one of the conditions when I took the job too.
Well, thanks again for being with us today, and looking forward to seeing you on the anniversary of the Dutch Canadian Society on March the 17th.
Yeah,
thanks for being with us.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.